Everyone, welcome to another episode of Independent Artists Unite song series. Tonight, I'm super psyched to get to know a little bit Redder Moon. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about your a song "Drown the Fire." But first, speaking of fires, I know you're part in LA and part in Kansas City, Missouri, right? An interesting combo.
Yeah, I don't really spend very much time out west as I'd like to.
Okay,
Technically based in Kansas City, but I have a
okay.
lot of friends in LA and my
All
mom
right, all
lives
right.
out west as well. So
Okay, but is everyone safe from the threat
as
of fire and everything?
yeah, as far as I know, I've had a few friends that have had to relocate and they've been affected by it, but no nothing dire,
Mm, mm.
thankfully.
Oh,
So
good. Yeah. Yeah, because it was yeah, I was talking to your buddy from Mary Chicken Soup and Rice,
yeah.
which I'm so thrilled that you guys know each other.
Yeah,
As
we we're
I'm a huge fan of his. I just I just love actually someone turned me on to him. Said, "Hey, you gotta check this, check this out." I looked at it. I just loved everything right from the
yeah,
start.
yeah. Yeah, he's great.
And
We've known each other for a very long time.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Is he all? Is he? Oh no, no. Oh, wait a second. Where was he from? Was it Kansas
He's
City as
based
well?
in LA. He's based
Yeah,
in LA, but he was originally from here, from
from
Kansas
there.
City.
Okay, so you guys grew up together in Kansas City. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, somewhat.
Oh, someone. Okay, all right. That's interesting. Yeah.
We met each other in our 20s.
Okay, okay, okay. So was that after the escape from Kansas City, or you were still in Kansas City then?
Well, we were both here, and then he moved away, and I moved away, and then we both kind of like
Okay, yeah, yeah,
interchangeably come
yeah.
back every once in a while.
No, it's funny because I ran into a lot of people like that. I've lived in New York City for 22 years, and I had encountered these people often like kind of like, I mean, no offense because I call myself this too, freaks, well, guys with the guy liner with different outfits or like people that you would group as freaks in the club or something or at school. I was one of these people. And but I encountered a couple where people like team up and move to the big city or something. So I was wondering if it was something like that. I had good friends that were from Little Rock, Arkansas, and they
Yeah,
were like best friends in high school, and they were like, "Fuck this, we're going to New York City." So I always think those are great stories when people leave the country setting and go to the big city.
right.
A poetic gesture. But I'm interested about the development of the Redder Moon project because I was like going and listening to the old album, and there's a woman, a female singer, on the first album.
Mhm.
So let me hear about how that happened and how the project developed.
So I've been doing this project for quite some time now.
Okay.
Um, that was kind of a pandemic development, and
Okay.
she, Jill, here's her name. She was going through a breakup, and we'd been friends for a long time, and she asked if she could try singing on some of my material. And
Okay.
the project had been kind of stagnant and dormant for a little while, and
Mm.
I said, sure, let's see what happens. And I just decided to send her a bunch of stuff, and she came back with it, and we decided to put out an album together. And we had another guy that played synthesizers and did some production work and things like that. But all along, this has kind of been my project, my
Yeah.
baby. I've just kind of fostered it, and it's gone through many different forms. And I think this one that you're hearing now is the final stage, the final kind of the pyramid top, I guess you could call it, from its inception to I feel like I've finally found purpose, and this is the voice that I have been dreaming to project all along. And now, I mean, that was an era, and it was a good era, and we did a lot of cool things. And turns out that neither of the other two members were really that into playing live. So that's a huge
Mm,
aspect for me. So I decided
okay.
I need to move forward. And then
Mm,
this happened last February, actually, right after I
mm,
finished the Mary Chicken Soup album.
okay.
I came back from LA and I had a
Oh, that's
offer.
right. You produced the Mary Chicken Rice, right?
Well,
Or kind of
I
engineered it or co-produced.
co-produced
Okay.
it. Yeah.
And engineered and stuff. Yeah.
I engineered, mixed it, mastered
Yeah.
it, and
Okay.
performed with them a few times.
All right. So you got the skills. Yeah.
And the same with this album. I came back from LA and I was just like, what am I going to do? These people are quitting. I got this offer to play with Vision Video and Urban
Oh,
Heat, and
really? Oh,
it was a
nice.
hit. Oh, it was no Vision Video and Then Comes Silence. And
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to take the show. I don't care what happens. I'm just going to take the show. And they quit. And I put a whole new thing together and I wrote 10 songs in like 2 months.
And
And I
did
was
the
like,
show.
for the show
That's
itself. And
awesome.
I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. This is where it's going to go. This is what I'm going to do.
Wow. That is some
And
deadline pressure right there.
yeah, it definitely put me to the test. But it was like everything that I have been doing up until this
Mm,
point was like preparation for, okay, this is
yeah.
what I'm supposed to do now, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah,
That's
because
kind
that,
of that's
well,
the story
I,
on Having a Girl.
I agree that you're at the top of your game now because I mean I love Drown the Fire, but you were kind enough to let me sample your coming album, and there are like songs off of there that I am like totally in love with, man. I
Thank you.
really think that they're good. This yeah, when you're well, I mean, it's elements are of them are in Drown the Fire too, I think, where it's yeah, it just reminds me a bit of that like bare bones bass keyboard drums, you know, a little jangly guitar of like a Joy Division, but done with like you know, more sonic fidelity, and it's just a little smoother, you know what I mean? And
Right.
it's and but it for me, like it retains something that got lost when they switched to being New Order. You know what I mean? A bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
maybe in like the first like New Order album, but then I think it got like they lost some of this this like I said to you your voice like has this sincerity to it, you know,
Oh,
like
thank you.
there's a purity of of just feeling and emotion in there, I think, which is really, um, yeah, it just sounds very natural. Like this is just how your voice comes out, and it's like very, it's a very like pure tone, you know.
I
I really
appreciate
like.
that. That's huge compliment from you. This is not my first time fronting a band, but it's been a very, very long time since I tried to sing. And I'd been kind of just passing everything off to the other members to try to do something and had all these ideas. And this is the first time that I'm really actually doing it with my voice. So that's very kind of you to say those things
So this is the first time that you're doing this, that you're singing for this project?
for this project. Yeah, I've
Oh
sang in a
wow.
few other
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
And when this project began, it was very much ethereal and probably 90% instrumental. And I got a chance to do like a small tour way back in 2015 with this band called Neon Indian, and they were kind of getting big in the 20, 10 to 2015 time period, and they were really good. And this guy named Alan Palomo, and he had me on for 3 shows down in the south of the United States, Texas, Louisiana, and so forth. And that's where I kind of decided I was going to really do vocals. And then the band went dormant for X amount of reasons. And
Mm,
then, like I said, I brought it back to life in 2020 with the pandemic. with a new vocalist, and I just kind of decided to stay back. But this is the first time that I'm really saying what I want to say and what I feel and what I mean and
Yeah.
what I feel like the world needs to hear to some extent. Like this is my opportunity, this is my chance, and I'm so excited and ready.
I can hear that. Yeah, but I can hear that in there, you know. It's cool. So, but with Drown the Fire was that is that the first song where you're singing or
Um, well, that was the first song I wrote for this project
okay,
and for this new
the new
era, I
version
should
of
say.
it. Yeah, the new era.
The
That's
new,
what I mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
and um, I had finished pretty much all of the songs when I decided to release it, but I felt like it was kind of like this is how I want the first impression to be.
Mm,
I want people to understand there's a movement there, there's a depth, there's also this kind of like post-punk new wave element with repetition,
mm,
and I wanted to showcase a little bit more of well, my vocal depth because I typically in the past have sang in higher registers, and this time I'm doing a little bit lower things. And but yeah, so it was the first one that I did, and I actually Matthew from Mary Chicken Soup directed the video for me
oh, nice.
for that one.
Yeah,
So we did kind of an exchange, I did his
yeah.
album, he
Oh,
did my
cool.
music video, and
Yeah, but I love that
it's a
sort of
fun
stuff.
it's a
Yeah.
fun thing that we're doing together. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's great to have peers like that, you know. You can also lean on when things are when the going gets tough as well.
for sure.
But yeah, but I can totally hear that you have that facility in the higher register as well because as I wrote to you, it really reminds me of Midge from Ultravox, you know,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
that kind
Awesome.
of real pure tone, you know, up there.
Oh,
Um,
appreciate that. Yeah.
but too, man, there's like a lot of stuff in the song that are like it's funny. Some things like I just know that it makes me like nostalgic for certain bands from the 80s like Ultravox or like um you know I can't even think now maybe it's like sometimes a little bit like Flock of Seagulls like maybe the lesser known Flock of Seagulls or something like that, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
are you a fan of the 80s like new wave bands?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say that most of my influences are kind of they've rooted themselves there. And I find a lot of other influences in a lot of instrumental music, a lot of TV and film soundtracks, especially. Film soundtracks somehow make me want to write music as
Mm.
well. So,
Oh yeah. I
so I
think
wouldn't
what
even say so much a lot of the bands are, definitely there, but more so just the feeling and the visual that you get when you watch certain films, like let's say like Manhunter from the 80s
yeah.
or something like that, or Karate Kid or something stupid.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, a nice fatty synth comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and two, it's like the arrangement is quite you know, I felt inspired listening to it, you know. I was like because it's not just like verse chorus, you know, or whatever kind of like modern music is. Like many of those 80s bands, there were like some more creative arrangements, you know.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, I try to get a little creative with it, and the way that the process is just so weird. I have just a bunch of music that I've composed over time, and I'll just kind of randomly pick one and say, okay, how do I feel about this one? What am I
mm,
feeling right now,
mm,
first of all? And then the music is mostly composed before I ever come up with any kind of lyrical thing, and it's rarely has anything to do with guitars. But even though I play guitar live with the
mm,
project,
yeah.
it always begins with a bass line and drums and or like a synthesizer patch or something that I'm like a feeling, I guess you could
Mm,
say.
mm.
What
Yeah,
am
I
I
can hear
feeling?
that. Yeah, because there's a lot of grooves in there. Yeah, it's a great groove in Drown the Fire as well. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I, I
it gets you.
I'm gonna
Gets you.
pleasantly surprised how well it's been received over, YouTube especially. It just something happened and a lot of Instagram pages started sharing it and using it for, I would say it went mini viral. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
it
Yeah.
didn't go big viral, but I mean,
Oh, that's
there's
great,
it
man.
could always happen.
Yeah.
I only
Yeah, but
released
I
it.
think, yeah, I can totally see that you'd be a great pairing with Vision Video and Then Comes Silence.
Well,
I was
speaking of
actually
that,
thinking
I
that you
just
would. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just got an email right before this,
Yeah.
and Vision Video and Urban Heat just asked us back for the fourth time. So,
Wow.
so we're playing with
Nice,
them
man.
here in Kansas City right before I go embark on a small US tour.
And now I know there's a lot of musicians that, or a lot of people that watch this show are musicians and would want to wonder, and I'm also speaking about myself, how do these things come up? Were these relationships that you developed online, or if you make friends with people as they come through Kansas City, or
So the Vision Video thing, yeah, I can definitely absolutely call them friends now. The very first time they came through Kansas City was in 2021,
Mhm.
and I was still here, um, doing some stuff. The version of the band that you heard before with the girl singer, it was our very first show, is that lineup.
Oh, wow,
And
okay.
I have a little bit of a history here, so I was able to contact a promoter
Oh,
and
nice.
ask
Okay.
can we play any show coming up that would be kind of a little bit higher profile because I wanted to like have a really good start.
Yeah, yeah.
I had no idea who Vision Video was at that time. It was their first time coming through. They were kind of
Mhm.
fairly newer. And so we got put on a show with them. And then the weird, funny part of the whole thing is the show was great. They liked what we did. Afterwards, we were all standing around outside the club, this place called Record Bar, very dear to my heart. Little cool venue, about a 300 person capacity. It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were outside and everybody was kind of in like post show, a little drunk, a little having fun, a little
Mm.
high. And I overheard Dusty, their van was parked behind ours. He's like, "Oh shoot, nobody booked a hotel for this for tonight." And I just kind of overheard him, and I was like, "Hey, I live like 4 blocks from here, and I've got this huge house with an Airbnb on the top floor. Do you guys just want to stay here with us?"
Oh, please. Friends for
And
life.
and so I put them up. We stayed up all night talking and hanging
Oh,
out.
wow.
And it
Oh,
turns out
okay.
their original bass player, another funny connection, their original bass player had a vinyl pressing plant in Athens, Georgia, which is the one that we had chosen to press our first vinyl. So I
Oh,
had no
wow.
idea that this whole connection thing was going to happen. So he ended up giving us a cool deal where he pushed us through before a bunch of other big name artists that were trying to
Wow.
like push their way in. So we got our
Mm.
album back faster than it should have because of him. His name's Dan. So then there's this relationship that's formed, and every time they come through, I think we've only missed 1 or 2 shows with them here for
Oh,
various
wow.
reasons. But
Oh, that's great, man.
they're
Yeah.
super cool people, and we just vibed with them, and we're excited to play with them again, and Urban Heat as well, which we've played with them once before as well, and
Yeah.
super great bands. And this is just kind of the process that I'm hoping to continue,
Yeah.
moving up, out and away from our
I could hear
localities.
you actually too with I don't know if you know this band that this two guys, Bragdolin.
I don't
Bragdolin?
think I've heard
You know
of them, no.
Bragdolin? Yeah. I'll send you a link. They had one song that just like shot up. It's got like millions of streams now or
Wow, it's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Really, yeah, and yeah, but they tour all over the place. They're just touring, touring, touring. Yeah. Yeah, so that they would be a great matchup with your especially this stuff coming off the this new album coming up.
Thank
I don't
you.
know,
Yeah.
when is this new album coming out?
Well, actually, now that I got that show booked, I'm going to go ahead and make that our official release,
Oh,
which
good
is
idea. Yeah.
April 25th.
Oh, perfect.
So
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and release the album then because I'll actually have physical vinyl copies ready for that show.
Wow. Oh, that
I've
lines up
actually,
perfectly.
yeah, yeah, and it really does. I couldn't ask for like a better, you know, opportunity to present the album.
Yeah. Wow,
A
that's great. Yeah, man. And do,
lot of interesting things have kind of just started popping up over the last, you know, 3 or 4 weeks, and this is just one of the many.
yeah. Well, it's you can really see people like hitting the road again after the pandemic, and like people, is this really happening? Like
Yeah, yeah,
instantly out there, okay, let's go. Now everyone
it's been an interesting journey for sure. I put it off last year because the other version of the band didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So then, I just decided, okay, I'm going to spend a year cultivating this new version, and this is my year to go out and do stuff. And actually, might be coming to the UK to
Okay.
do 7 dates.
Oh, nice.
We're tentatively playing this festival called Rebellion Fest, and it's in Blackpool in August.
Oh, nice.
But it's about 90% for sure.
Okay.
So that's definitely a thing that we're gonna do.
Yeah. And is Mary chicken soup and rice going to? Or no?
Nope, just me.
Okay, because I heard because he was saying that he was going to go out on tour too. So I didn't know if you guys were teaming up on that.
He is touring, and I might meet him for a show in Arizona.
Okay.
Um, that's we've talked about teaming up for a show in Arizona, but nothing else has been able to. We haven't been able to line anything else up. But no, this UK thing, I wound up getting connected with the promoter and who has connections with Echo and the Bunnymen and Simple Minds. So
Wow.
their guitar player actually ended up mastering a couple of our songs, and we're just things are happening,
That's so
and
cool.
I
Yeah.
can't believe it's happening. It's crazy.
So what is this? Are they playing at this festival?
I don't think they're
Echo and the
playing.
Bunnymen? Oh yeah. But it's like
No,
kind of like a dark wave festival or goth thing or
I have no
I
idea.
don't know. Okay, some kind of festival like that.
I kind of think it might be more of like a post-punk thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
but I was thinking I probably know some other people that are playing there, so that'd probably be
I
a good
know that there is a
destination.
website up with a lineup
Yeah.
and a tentative lineup, and I recognize some of the
Well,
bands,
maybe
but
I'll
I
see
don't.
you there because I'm like, yeah, that's a quick skip across the pond.
I've been wanting to come to Denmark for a very long time. I'm really good friends with a band from Denmark,
Oh, really?
and they're also another band that I've kind of gravitated towards too. They're called The Foreign Resort, and they're like a post-punk type of band.
Oh, yeah. I tell
They've
you, I
stayed.
don't know very many people here because I've
Yeah,
lived such a weird, isolated life since I've been here.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I had three kids. Well, my ex-wife had three kids in quick succession, like 18 months apart, and it was
Mm.
like we were like, you know,
Life puts on
for,
hold. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like for the first 10 years, it was just like, what just happened? I mean,
yeah, I
it
can
was
imagine.
like, anything, any hobbies, anything, anything you want to do for yourself. No, wait a decade. It's incredible, but also worth it. But yeah, so I'm just now kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah. But I'm thinking, and I was actually getting inspired by yeah, married chicken soup and rice, and yeah, I'm getting inspired by you now too. Thinking, oh, maybe we could throw some kind of show together.
Yeah, you should. It is definitely one of those things that it's so stressful and it's very like time consuming and makes you sick to your stomach. But then when you finally do it,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, God, I'm so glad I did that. But then you also like, why did I just do that? It was over and so fast, but and
I
I
mean,
think that's
I did it for
because
many, many years. I did it
yeah,
for many years, but
it makes you want to keep going.
it's literally now been like 25 years since I've yeah, performed
Better get out there.
live like that. Yeah, so well, yeah. Yeah, I may be getting out in a big way, but I can't talk about that online, but I can stop record and tell you about that. Yeah. But wow, man. That's so cool. So you got this it's like you got this cool little Kansas City hub thing, and then you're just like darting out and doing different things around when it comes up, and you got the contacts in LA as well, and
Hmm.
that's perfect, man. But that's so great that that show happens, that you can come out with the album and have vinyl and everything for that show, because that'll be
Yeah,
packed with people now, because they seem to really be packing the people in now, Vision Video.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Every time we've played with them, it's been a really good crowd. And I think with the combination of Urban Heat also, they just finished touring with Molchat Doma.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
they did a lot of dates over there with them. So it's perfect. I couldn't ask for a
Yeah,
better opportunity to release the album out into the world than that one.
yeah, man. Well, congratulations. Yeah,
Thank you.
was this absolutely final mixes that I heard, or there's still,
Those
oh,
are
some
unmasked.
need to
They're
be mastered.
unmastered.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the whole album, it's done, it's completed, but it just needs to be mastered now. And
I'm eager to hear the finished product, because I really yeah, I think you're going to do very well with this album,
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, really, really. Well, I told you my favorites on there. I won't spoil anything,
Although
but
you can tell you can say it. I actually go ahead and say it. That might build a suspense.
yeah, well, there's some really, really great songs on there, man. Like I said, that gives it a little bit of like Joy Division nostalgia, but it's not it's not like a ripoff, or repetitive in any way. It's just a flavor, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you really did that so well,
Well, thank you.
um, to like make it a bit nostalgic sounding, and certain, I think maybe it's like certain transitions or something have a little 80s flourish as well, So it's like it really gives you that 80s vibe as well too. And you got a great look to go with it too, man. Also a big fan of that. I mean, that's part of what I loved of new wave in the 80s, and I was a huge David Bowie fan. But I just loved that the music back then, it was like so cool. And it came with a hairstyle, makeup, and an outfit. You know what I mean? This is what I like.
Yeah. Same here.
I've never been a fan of the t-shirt and jeans thing. I'm like, hey, come on, guys.
Put a little thought into it.
Yeah, yeah, why not? Yeah, so I've always been a big fan of that. So thank you as a fan. Um, Thank you for carrying that tradition on. I think that's a wonderful thing to carry on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been great to meet you, and sounds like you're poised for success, man. I'm really excited for you. And
Thank you.
please come back again and tell us. Maybe we'll have you after that. It'd be great to have you back after that opening night with Vision Video, after your release party, and talk about the album and how that show went.
Absolutely. Thank you
Cool.
so much. I would love to
Yeah,
talk to you again. You've been so great and gracious, and thank you for having me
yeah, man.
on.
Yeah, talk to you soon, man.
Okay, cheers.